Hello, my name is Ben Townsend with Tracker Products. I'd like to welcome you to my training video on the new safe custom nested forms that are available in version 89 of the system. If you're unsure what version you're running, go down to the bottom right hand corner of the screen and you need to be on version 8.89 in order to use this feature. So let's start out by, let me show you what this does as a result. So we're going to go in and we're going to enter a new item into the system. And I'm going to pick an explosive. This will just be the sample that I'm going with. And what I want to focus on is go down here to the very bottom of the screen, and we're going to focus on the custom form at the bottom. So because this is an explosive, I have one question being asked: is this a banned explosive? And I have the answers of yes or no. The new custom nested feature now allows you to have custom fields that are based on the answer that is given. So you'll notice here, if I select no, I have a question of, is it safe to store? Yes, no, or unsure. But if the answer is yes, it's a banned explosive, I now get two different questions. Does it require testing? And who's the supervisor that approved? And the importance of this feature is you can now ask questions based on a parent question. So now that you have a basic understanding as to how this nesting works, let me show you how to build this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Tools over here on the left. We're going to go to Custom Data Forms. And here is the custom data form I built for the sample I just showed you. So I'm going to edit this out. And you'll see here are the fields that I built out. These are the questions that were all listed. And I'm going to delete these because we're going to start over. So what I want to do is give you an example. Let's go in and I'm going to add a radio button because I still want to start with a question and I want it to be in the form of a radio list. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to ask the question, does this go to the lab? Okay, and then under the options menu, I'm going to put what are the answers to that. One answer is yes, one answer is no, and I may even give a third option of I'm unsure if it needs to go to the lab or not. So just like any custom form, we've built out our first basic field. Now we're going to fill out our first sub-nested option. We want to have a field where if the answer is no, I want to ask them a question, why do you feel it doesn't need to be tested? So we're going to put this in here. I'm going to use a text area field just because that's what I want the field to look like. And I'm going to put the display name of why does it not need to be tested. Okay. I may even want to go ahead and make this a required field because I want them to have to answer the question as to why does this not need to be tested. But this new conditions tab, this is where you nest it. So I'm going to go in and make it conditional. It is conditional to that field, and I want it to be based on the answer being no. So now I have built that out. Now we want to build out a couple of fields for for the answers that are yes. So we may go in and say, I want to add a checklist option. And so this field is going to be titled, what tests need to be done? And I'm going to give options of test 1, test 2, and clearly you would put your specific test names in there, but I'm still going to go to the conditions tab. I'm going to select that this is conditional. It is based on that parent field, and it's based on the answer being yes now. So when I select yes, it'll come up. One important note here, when you're selecting the field that it's nested under, make sure you always select the parent because you could do nesting under nesting, and this is the area where you would fill that out at. So at this point, I've got one answer to yes. I'm actually going to create one more. I want to know comments. If you do want it tested, what are your comments about testing? I'm still going to make it conditional. I'm now going to go in and I'm going to make it under the yes also. And so at this point, I have created 4 custom fields. I've nested 3 of them. Let's now go back. I'm going to save it. We're going to add another item again. I am going to select that it's explosive. I go through, go down to my custom field. Here's the new field that's being listed. Does this go to lab? If the answer is no, there is my, why does it not need to be tested? It's a required text area field. If I select yes, now I go in, what test do you want run? And this is where you can put your comments at. So this is how the new custom form nesting works. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.